Hi everybody, I'm Carrie, and today we're going to have our Lunch and Learn all about Fur Friday. So that's right, we're going to be talking about mammals today. And the reason we wanted to focus on them is because mammals, one of their classification facts is that they all have fur. So we're going to be talking all about different kinds of fur today. And fur is basically an adaptation that mammals have that they use in many different ways in order to help them to survive in the wild. An adaptation is anything that basically helps an animal to survive. So mammals having fur, they use them in a few different ways. One of the main ways that mammals use fur is like these zebras here. Zebras actually use their fur as a technique of camouflage called disruptive coloration, where they're in a big giant herd together and those stripes are kind of confusing to the eye, so that when the lions and other animals are hunting, they can't really pick out one zebra from the other because their stripes are helping them to hide in a group. Now another version or another way that mammals can use their fur is something like our lion here. So lions use their fur for camouflage. So they're not trying to camouflage in a group like the zebras, they're actually trying to camouflage to their surroundings. So they're using their coloring to hide in their surroundings so that the animals they're preying on, like the zebras, can't see them coming. Another reason mammals have fur is some of them, like our snow leopards, actually use them to stay really, really warm. So they use that thick, heavy fur because snow leopards live up in the tops of the Himalayan mountains where it's very, very cold. They use that fur to stay nice and warm and snuggly. They even will sometimes wrap their tails around their body and cover their little noses with it in order to help their noses and their faces stay warm. Now, one other thing that mammals can use their fur for is actually a lack of fur. So animals like dolphins, they're born with fur, but it actually falls out very, very quickly after birth because they need to be pretty smooth and aerodynamic in order to swim. So they use that furless body to swim through the ocean. So just like swimmers might use a suit like you're seeing in the picture to keep their bodies nice and smooth and streamlined so they can swim faster, dolphins also use their lack of fur for the same technique. So there are many different types of fur out there that help mammals to survive all around the world. And now you're actually going to get to meet a mammal that uses her fur to help her to survive down in the Brazilian rainforest.
Hi guys, this is Chloe the kinkajou. She's also known as a honey bear. Now Chloe actually lives in the rainforests of South America and she lives in the canopy. Chloe is an awesome animal that has many, many adaptations. One thing, she is nocturnal, which means she only comes out at nighttime. So she actually has really, really good hearing, a really good sense of smell. Her eyesight's okay, and she has a very, very good sense of tactile where she can actually feel around during the nighttime. All right, another thing, Chloe is actually found in the canopies of the rainforest, which is roughly around 200 feet up in the air. Now, if you guys are looking at Chloe's entire body, you're going to see something. She actually does have 5 hands. She's got 1, she's got 2, she's got 3, 4, and her last hand is her tail, which we call a prehensile tail. Now, if you guys look at Chloe's fur, it has amazing adaptations. If you look at it, it has a honey coloration, and that's why she's known as a honey bear. But the one cool thing about that is, one of her favorite foods being known as a honey bear is honey. And we're going to show you something that's really cool, how she can actually eat honey. All right, so picture this. We're in the rainforest. The rainforest is the canopy is 200 feet up in the air, and she spots a beehive. Now, she knows in that beehive there is lots of honey. So what's going to happen is she's going to climb up to that beehive. She's going to hang from her prehensile tail, and then from there she has a 6-inch long tongue. What she'll do is she'll stick her head, and actually she'll rip it open with her sharp claws, stick her head inside that beehive, and start getting all that sweet honey. Now, as she's eating all that sweet honey, the bees getting mad. They swarm out, and guess what? Chloe does not get stung. And the reason she does not get stung, her fur coat is so thick and so dense that the bee stinger cannot penetrate through that fur. So if you guys are looking at that, you can see how thick that honey bear fur is. And guess what? Bees cannot sting through that honey. And that is an amazing adaptation to have, being a furry animal in the rainforest canopy, feeding upon honey that comes from bees. So you guys learned a lot about Chloe the kinkajou. Now it's time for a craft from Sarah about fur.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Here at the Akron Zoo, I am the camp coordinator, and we are so busy getting ready for summer camps. We are going to have a great time, and I hope that you all can come and join us. Camps start in June, and we have 9 amazing weeks planned. Tons of animal encounters, lots of guest speakers, behind-the-scene tours. But while we're all stuck at home right now, we thought, let's try to do some crafts and other game activities so that you can continue your learning, but in a real fun way. So, since this week, we visited Grizzly Ridge, and we are talking about mammals and furry animals. So, mammals are animals that have fur, they drink milk, and they have live babies. They also have vertebrae. So you and I, we're mammals, along with the grizzly bears and some of the other friends you saw this week. The skunk, she's a mammal. And so is our rabbit, our lionhead rabbit, Aslan. He's a mammal. Okay, so today we're gonna make this very simple little bear craft. And I chose the bear because, again, he is one of our furry mammals. And it's springtime, so we are gonna have him waking up in his little bear cave. So the first thing you will need is a paper lunch bag. We want to keep the bottom part on. So we're going to take a pair of scissors and we're going to cut just about right there. So now you're left with this part with the bottom. We're going to flip it this way and cut out our little cave opening. So make sure you give us space here so we can see inside. You open up your bag. There's your cave already. Easy. So for the bear parts, I have these 3 pieces is all you need to make your bear. Bigger legs for his hind legs, his front 2 legs, and then his little bear head. So you cut those 3 pieces out, use your glue stick, you stack them. I kind of staggered his feet, put his little head right there, and I drew with a marker and I gave him his eyes and his nose and his little bear ears. Then if you have some green paper, make a little shrub outside of his little cave, and some brown paper. You can cut a tree. You can put whatever you want around your den. I added some hay inside of here for it to be a soft bedding. You can cut up more brown paper. Then what I did was, once I glued him down, I kind of folded the bottom of his legs a little bit just like this, so that now he'll stand up. I glued my bear down. I glued everything onto the side parts of my cave. And then if you want to, you can take a little bit of glue and glue this down just like that, so your cave will stay open. And then you'll see your little bear sticking right out of there. See? Easy. Now, if you're like my kids, once they got tired of playing as a bear cave, you could bring out some of your other play animals. Maybe a coyote or a wolf is going to stop by. Maybe the river otter swam up to take a look, eat a little bit off of the shrub, go back to the river. Or what would have happened in my house for sure, I think some Lego people would have made a stop at the cave. Hermione's here. I hope she brought her wand, because that bear is going to be hungry. He just woke up. Okay, so another important thing to think about when you come to the zoo is, how do we design their habitats? So we have to think about what all living things need. They need shelter, they need air, they need water, and they need space to grow. So you can take those same principles that might be hard for your kids to grasp and apply them in a more artistic way or in a more STEM building way, whatever way your child might relate to. So here I just presented a couple different options when you are playing. If you have a very artistic child and they like to color and draw, maybe have them sit down and design their own zoo. They could make the path, make them think about what areas of the zoo they need to include based on what little animals you might have at home. They could draw the animals if you don't have any of these play animals. So I labeled everything, which is a great little geography lesson to teach them of which parts of the world they're exploring and where these animals live. Or if they want to build and not draw, here is a cute little Lego set that we have here at the zoo, and they can build a habitat and showing that what they would need. You know, we know that the savanna would be dry and we would have rocks for the lions, and over here in the penguin exhibit, of course, we'd need water and rocks also. It doesn't have to be fancy Lego blocks either. Here I just used Jenga blocks. So if you have any kind of wooden block or anything, get out some plastic containers, whatever you want to do. Just get down on the floor, pretend, play, talk about what goes into a habitat whenever we're planning for our animals, and let them explore and let them have a great time. Thanks for joining us today for our Lunch and Learn. We'll see you next time.